want to just focus on helping you with your inner being. So it's understanding inner being, loving inner being, and just accepting it. Because a lot of times we get into places where we just don't accept who we are. So we need to allow ourselves to have the permission to accept fully who we are and enjoy that person and just love that person. So it's not going to be like self-love and self-awareness today. It's going to be more just acceptance. It's understanding who you are and developing that, and not being afraid to step out on your own path or walk your own plank, because people get so afraid to be themselves, especially when you start getting in societies and people start to say, well, you should be this way, you should be that way. Spiritual healers, spiritual leaders, we're not absolved from it, because a lot of times when we start to teach and we start to help other people, people start to put us into a category, to a boat, and it's like, you're supposed to be this way, you're supposed to be that way, but it's not who we're supposed to be according to society. What makes us spiritual leaders is our ability to be our individual unique selves, and we're able to unlock ourselves, and as we unlock ourselves, we help to unlock others, and we accept you for who you are, so we expect to be accepted for who we are. And to keep it simple, it's like, if we can just stay in that space, and if, for example, I don't put myself into a space where I'm expected to conduct myself in this way, and if I don't put myself in that space because that's not the way I conduct myself and that's not who I am, then I continue to express in a positive manner. When I start to put myself into a box and express in the way that society wants me to express, because I'm a spiritual advisor, a spiritual leader, just like everybody else that's up here, what happens is we start to forget who we are. And as we forget who we are, we start to slip up, and then we start to go into malevolent or deviant behaviors or thoughts, and we're wondering what's going on, and it's ways to attack us. We got to realize, as spiritual leaders, we're under spiritual attack all the time. And the spiritual attacks come from places that you can never imagine half the time, because what happens, we get to a level of consciousness where, we elevate to this place where, remember we talked about it before, the arrows are being shot up, but they can't reach us because we're too high. The vibration is too high. Well, when the vibration gets too high and they can't attack us from the bottom, what they start doing is they attack us through the people that we're close to. Because they're not at the top, or they're not above they're not the cream is above the crop. They're not the part that has risen. They're the part that's still trying to figure it out. And so as the dark energies attack those things, we go down to help them. As we go down to help them, then a lot of times we receive something from them, and it takes us off our game. So we have to stay aware of who we are, and we have to be who we are. And if somebody's below us and we're trying to help them up, we can't conform to what they want us to be. We want to be who we are and see what they're doing and try to pull them up from that point. But we can't go down and become them or become the image of them that they want to see. We have to be our own selves. So just remember that. So some people do readings openly. Some people don't tell nobody I read, because I don't want people to know it. And if that's who you are, then that's who you are. We should all respect that, because everybody expresses uniquely different. Doesn't make anybody better or worse. Just different.